Is good, everybody? My Paper Moon fam. It's your boy, PaperSin, aka the Hokage of the village. Hidden in that loud, you feel me? And when it comes to marriage, the big ball and chain, is it dying? Yes, it is, and slowly. And we have a video we're going to react to about it. But before we get to the video, let me go ahead and put in my 2 cents on why marriage is dying. It's, in my opinion, it's this newest wave of feminism. You know, with that comes the whole sexual liberation and OnlyFans and things like that, and society telling women that it's okay, that yes, they can sleep with just as many men as they want. They can sleep around just like men can sleep around. They can sexually liberate their bodies and show it off to the world. And there's 2 points I want to talk to about that. The first one is the whole, like the sexual liberation, like feeling free to show off their bodies and do all that. I'm not mad at it. Go for it. Do your thing. But the thing is, most men do not want to have a partner, marry a woman, or date a girl that has an OnlyFans or is sexually liberated and just shows her body off on Instagram, which is like the biggest dating app in the world, or anything like that. I mean, I guess unless you're Neon, but like Neon does anything for clout and even dates an OnlyFans model who also uses him for clout.
All right. Have you been fucked in the last 3 weeks?
No. Whoa! Get this off me now. I'm done. No, I'm actually fucking done. Get this off me. I haven't had sex with anyone. I'm literally celibate. I fucking hate this thing. Get it off me now. I'm so dead ass, bro. I haven't had sex with anyone. This is pissing me the fuck off. You actually see me cry. Get this off me, bro.
Oh my god, fuck.
Either get this off me or keep asking me questions.
No, take it off.
No, keep going. I'm just fucking mad at you because this is a fucking lie.
Oh shit. Fuck.
Ask me who I've had sex with. Like, I haven't had sex with anybody. Keep going. No, keep going. You want to go harder? You want to make me cry? Keep going.
Yeah, stop. Take it off her.
Please.
If you end now, you just look like a bitch.
So yeah, there's that. Again, it's cool if you want to do that. If a woman feels sexually liberated and it empowers her to show off her body to the world for $5.99 a month or whatever price they set, then go for it, do that. But there are ramifications with that. Like I said, most men don't want to be to have a partner that does that, who shows off their body to people in the world that is usually only seen behind closed doors in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, I wouldn't want to be with a OF chick or a corn star or anything like that, because then it's like, damn, everybody in the world can see what I've spent time building a relationship with this woman that only I can see, that only should be seen in the behind closed doors in the bedroom and shit. I mean, shit, even Adin Ross is trying to get his fan base, his people, his whatever, to stop to like avoid OnlyFans and shit. Like,
no, trust me, you don't need to lose any more weight. I promise you. Gain some weight. I don't know, the music's pretty loud and shit.
Did they call you fat?
Yeah, they did, bro, and that's gonna be a clip, and yeah.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Oh, no, see, no, fuck OnlyFans, no, hell no. Fuck OnlyFans, no, hell no. Fuck OnlyFans, no, hell no. It was nice seeing you, though.
You as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, if even Adin Ross is trying to get his fan base to avoid OF models and, corn and all that, then yeah, that's saying something, bro. Like, come on. And the other part is this whole men or women can sleep around just as much as men can. Shit, really? I mean, to be honest, women heard that and they were like, yay, we won. And men were like, shit, all right, hey, yeah, go ahead. Sleeping around with whoever you want, shawty, what's good? I'm first, though. Hey, shawty, come on, I'm first. Oh, I ain't got no condom, though. You good? All right, cool. Because then it's like, if women are different than men, like for women, they lose the ability to pair bond, which completely fucks up their ability, ends up fucking up their ability to stay in a relationship and to stay committed to a relationship. And then So they just get in this toxic circle, this toxic, like, yeah, toxic circle of just a cycle of just of going for like the Chads or Tyrones or someone who can spit game good enough to, you know, lie to them and get them in the bed. And then they'll get pumped and dumped. And then they'll say men ain't shit. And then they'll go to the next Chad or Tyrone, get pumped and dumped, say men ain't shit for hundreds of times.
Does body count matter, or are you asking me my body count? Both.
Well,
oh God. Okay. Body count, I have to say, does not matter because I have over 100 bodies.
okay.
So yeah.
20 years old, right?
Yes.
Over 100 bodies. Do you know exactly how much it is?
No idea.
Is it over 150?
I think it's less than 150 because,
Okay,
like,
sure. It's over 100.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So body count doesn't matter. Okay. You mentioned your body count.
Yeah.
Do you want to reveal that really quick right now?
I'm
since
gonna
we're
be
at it?
honest. I stopped counting at 254, so it's definitely above that.
Wait, 254?
254 is where I stopped counting.
But then it gets to the point that when they finally, you know, get older or whatever, they're like, I want to find a nice guy. That nice guy ends up being too boring for them, or he's not fun enough. He's not dangerous enough. He's not this enough. He's not that enough. They find a reason to break up with him, and then they do. And then they go back to the Chads or Tyrones, get pumped and dumped, and then eventually they're like, we're all the good men. We're all the good men. Men ain't shit. Well, I mean, you're choosing the ain't shit men because, you know, you feel that you can, that you're the same as men and that you can just, you know, sleep around with as many men as you want. Just because men can sleep around. Well, men are different. Not saying it's fair, but there's a lot of things there's in the world that ain't fair. But yeah, that's pretty much my quick 2 cents on it. I'll probably make a video on why love is like pretty much failing in the West anyway. So but let's get to the video and see what other people, because it's like a street interview type video. So let's see what other people are saying why marriage is dying. Let's check it out. This is by the YouTube channel Jen. So as always, link to the video and link to the channel will both be in the description below. Be sure to check them out. And yeah, let's get into it.
Was there anything that you wish that you would have done differently?
I wish I would have married a girl that was like 8 years younger.
What would you guys say is like the secret to a long and happy marriage?
A short memory.
Oops.
I think marriage and love don't have that much to do with each other.
Today I'm out here and the question that I'm asking is, what is your biggest dating or relationship regrets?
Well, I just have no regrets whatsoever. My dating life was absolutely fabulous. But then he happened to be there and that was it.
That I didn't propose to my wife sooner than I did.
Great answer.
That I didn't wake up sooner to the marriage.
A love I left in New Orleans. She was the love of my life. We hadn't gotten to know each other. I don't have any idea how much she regretted the breakup. I know I have.
How old are you and at what age did you guys get married?
32 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm 57 and we got married at 24.
See, that's like very rare, I feel like my age too, right? Like I'm 26, I have a girlfriend, but I don't know anyone like my age or any of my friends who have been married yet.
It took me 25, 27 years to fall madly in love with this woman.
So along with these successful couples, I also wanted to ask someone with a unique expertise on marriage, especially for when things didn't work out.
James Sexton.
Here's James Sexton.
I'm a divorce lawyer in New York City. I've been practicing
this guy
divorce law for about 22 years. I'm the author of 2 books. If you're in my office, it's already too late. A Divorce Lawyer's Guide to Staying Together. And the other is called How to Stay in Love, Practical Wisdom from an Unlikely Source.
You mentioned that you believe in love, but you don't believe in marriage. Do you think your experience as a divorce lawyer and, you know, seeing probably the most extreme of cases, as well as your, personal experience with divorce yourself, do you think that has impacted your view on marriage?
I think my own marriage, which ended in divorce, definitely did not make me not believe in marriage. I'm really glad I was married. I have 2 wonderful adult children, but I don't think that was unsuccessful. I think sometimes things end, and that doesn't mean they weren't successful. I think that we have a definition of marriage that if it doesn't last forever, it was a failure, and I think that's a wildly inaccurate definition of a successful marriage. I know people that stayed together absolutely miserable. I get to see a really honest version of things because, again, the two people you never lied to or never should lie to are your doctor and your lawyer, because our only job is to protect you, and we have total, confidentiality. The majority of marriages end in divorce, not living happily ever after.
But before we continue, when 52% of marriages end in divorce, is the concept of till death do us apart a dead concept? Because like anything these days, there's the divide.
Nice.
I don't think what we have today is really marriage.
You shouldn't hold on to things that no longer serve you.
Why would I get married? There's no actual reason to get married.
Wait, right there. That's something I meant to add. There is no actual reason to get married anymore, because like it's the whole why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free now. You know what I'm saying? Also, from a man's standpoint, like if we want sex, the hookup culture that feminism has brought to us, we can just, go out and raise up a girl, you know what I'm saying, bring her back. All right, pump and dump, done. And if we want like a place, I don't want to say all that crap, but yeah, if we do want like our place cleaned up, then we can clean it up ourselves, or we can hire someone else to clean it up. If we want food to be cooked, we can cook it ourselves, or we can hire like a chef to go cook it, or just go out and get some food, whatever. But there's no reason for men to get married anymore. Like, there's zero reason. And it's like, women hold the keys to who gets sex, but men hold the keys to who get relationships. And with this new wave of feminism, men are seeing that there's no reason to, we hold the keys to the relationships, so you might as well just hold on to them and not give them out. And then there's all that whole wave, this whole feminism shit again with modern Western women, how they've changed because of it. Men have started to go their own way. Men go in their own way. The MGTOW movement shit, the passport bro movement shit, and just plain out opting out of dealing with it. I mean, there's a bunch of downfall to if or when the marriage doesn't work out, that the man does not need to risk. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need to risk losing half his shit, not being able to see his kids anymore, and falling into a possible debt or whatever, just because the woman can do a no fault if they're in that type of state, and just be like, well, I don't feel like, I'm bored, or I've been watching a bunch of TikToks and I see all these other women living their best lives, and I want to go out and step out and sleep around again, so I'm going to leave you. And then, well, there goes all the man shit. So yeah, man, no, there's really no reason. There's no reason to. There's none.
People waiting longer and not choosing to marry at all. I wanted to explore the current state of marriage and what the future holds for relationships. With our lack of trust in institutions and increasing isolation, are we too far gone? And also, what does this all mean in the context of my own relationship? I guess we gonna see. You mentioned that again. Once you are in a divorce lawyer's office, the relationship is screwed, and that marriage isn't a rapid death, but a long and slow one. What can both men and women do so they never end up in your office?
I think we disconnect really slowly from our partner. I think the best thing people can do is to be mindful of slippage. It's a lot like getting super fat and then realizing, okay, I gotta lose a bunch of weight now. It's like hard to come back from that. It takes a lot more effort. Except in this situation, there's multiple people, right? There's two people in the story instead of just one. So it's two people that have to be kind of disciplined and focused and on the same page.
Yeah, you have to actually want to be married and to stay married. You have to want to be in a relationship with someone and not let that relationship end. You have to want to try to keep that relationship going.
Ask most people, like, oh, what do you like best about your girlfriend or your husband or your wife? Like, they're nice and they're smart and they're funny. But if you drill it down and say, like, tell me a couple of things that they did this week that you really liked, it's weird stuff. A lot of times it's not what they think it would be. And it's just as easy to devote your energy to those things as it is to devote it to the things that make each other miserable.
What would you guys say is like the secret to a long and happy marriage?
A short memory.
Damn.
When you base your value system on the same thing, that's really helpful.
Well, actually, I think you just put up with everything.
If you lost everything, I'd still be with you. If you were really sick, I'd still be with you. That's real love. I think one of the hardest things for young people to understand is like a bad phase can actually be a whole year and a half.
So it seems like being able to be adaptable and grow with each other has been like a big secret to your guys' long marriage. Is that right?
I would say so.
What do you think is the biggest difference between a wife and someone who's a one-night stand? For both men and women.
A wife or husband, that means substance.
What do you think is the most important quality to look for in a partner?
You should go shopping with your date to see what they buy and how much they spend. Because I think money is a very important part of the equation.
I imagine you guys are pretty different from 32 years ago.
Well, I mean, about the whole money thing, it does seem like it can play a part. Like if money starts going downhill, then hypergamy is still a real thing, but it's also like there will be arguments within the couple between the two. Just, shit going bad about it. Like, why you gotta spend this much money for this? And why you gotta do this or this? Or you need to make more money for this? And, shit like that.
I feel like I'm changing every single year. In that sense, how has your guys' relationship evolved?
It's certainly less tempestuous than it was in the beginning. I mean, I would say it was real operatic for a while. See?
Some things never change. And so unlike older generations who typically got married around their 20s, that's not the case today. Gen Z and millennials are open to marriage, but waiting around 10 years longer to get married at all. I mean, look at me, I'm 26, almost 27 and not married. Whereas my parents have my older sister at this age, and I'm here making YouTube videos. Whether it be student debt to higher living costs, it makes sense when looking at Gen Z dating lives, and its polarity as the loneliest and the horniest. 2 different studies found that just half of high school seniors were actively dating, and 1 in 4 young adults were remaining celibate for an entire year. In short, they ain't. Well, not exactly the case. Because on the other hand, we're also seeing more adultery and promiscuity, but in an ethical way. Approximately 20% of all Americans have experienced or attempted ethical polyamory at some point in their lives, with that number skyrocketing over recent years. And with Gen Z embracing diverse gender roles and individuals who identify as bisexual or pansexual having a higher likelihood of engaging in polyamorous relationships, is this a passing trend or a lasting one? And so I was curious on what the old heads thought. Another thing that's kind of been like more popular in our generation has been polyamorous relationships. What are your thoughts on polyamory?
I have a few friends in open relationships and I've met polyamorous people. They're always really eager to talk about it. For me, I'm just not emotionally wired that way.
I think that's a bad idea. I just think that's super confusing.
I'm too jealous and too emotionally chaotic, I guess, to take that approach.
So it's clear that compared to older generations, the dating scene has changed from expectations to realities. Because back then, without the illusion of unlimited choice, getting married to their high school sweetheart after 6 months together wasn't that crazy. And so since I've been dating my girl long distance for the last 10 months, and I haven't married her yet, I wanted to ask further about the differences between generations. Because as someone who's scared of marriage myself, I have doubts. Can our generation really be the ones to succeed where others have failed? Because as my own relationship has progressed, so too have thoughts like, is she really the right person I can spend the rest of my life with? But perhaps it's natural to have doubt and fear over one of the biggest decisions of our lives. So let's just say that if each person can only buy 1 engagement ring in their lifetime, I'm sure we'd be a lot more careful. And Dairy Ring is a brand specializing in engagement rings to address exactly that. Dairy Ring has a unique concept that allows you to purchase only 1 ring in a lifetime for your true love. And they believe in their mission of
all right, but that's not really gonna help because even if they get divorced, someone's gonna keep the ring or sell it, and then they'll just get a ring from somewhere else instead of going back to the Dairy Ring or whatever.
Protecting the sanctity of true love and marriage so much that they conduct ID verification and ensure that individuals can't make repeat purchases from them. Because if each person thinks carefully about whether their partner is their true love before proposing or entering into marriage, it could only help the 52% divorce rate. So thanks to your sponsor Dairy Ring, and use my link in the description to check out not only their wedding or engagement rings, but also a jewelry for your special someone. And so now I wanted to hear from the older generation. What do you think is like the main difference of dating back then compared to now?
Cool. I mean, because you have an opportunity to find all kinds of action quickly to dating sites.
Obviously, we didn't have Google and all the stuff you guys got today, or like my sons got today. It was more one-on-one, you have to talk to a person.
From what I've heard, especially from my children's friends, is that there's a lot of filters applied to it. And in fact, in our case, had we applied filters, we would not have married, I would think. I'm not sure we would have.
How did you learn about
relationships and dating when you were growing up?
We had role models that we could look at and family around us that supported that.
So I feel like a lot of my generation these days, we struggle with dating and relationships in general. And the general kind of consensus is kind of a negative view on dating. Why do you think this is kind of a struggle point for our generation?
Well, I think it's primarily social media. I mean, for example, when I met Tanya, there's an immediate physical, emotional vibe that you get, which, you know, you just don't get through electronics.
They're too casual about how fast they sleep together. Sex becomes such a big deal that they aren't willing to put the effort in to just get to know each other.
And with the rise of hookup culture, it's undeniably influencing how people date. And when art represents culture, it's no surprise that we're now seeing content on dating gurus, pickup artists, to OnlyFans influencers. But interestingly, this surge is also giving rise to a counter trend in a different type of content.
If you are not familiar with the term tradwife, it is a woman who chooses to live a more traditional life with ultra-traditional gender roles.
There's been a recent resurgence of traditional marriages as seen by people like this TikTok creator.
Just make sure they're not chameleons, you know, hiding in disguise.
I don't want to be a corporate girly. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to be a boss babe.
Tradwives are traditional housewives who believe their role is to be
homemakers.
And their content from cleaning to cooking has caused quite the controversy on social media, as some say tradwives push regressive beliefs on women's rights and are exclusionary to the queer and trans community. And some also argue that maintaining a traditional marriage in this day and age is an unrealistic standard, especially as gray divorce has increased over the years. But is this true? Since 1990, as attitudes towards divorce has become more socially acceptable, divorces for those over 50 has nearly doubled. But with some studies showing that men in a gray divorce tend to experience more negative effects than women, wanted to ask the lawyer. I'm curious on your thoughts on the post-divorce, right? Once that's all settled, who fares better? Women that are divorced or men that are divorced?
Dating men, for sure. Women are much more open to the presence of stepchildren or a boyfriend with children. They don't really look at the kids as baggage as much as they look at them as a part of this person who they are feeling romantically about. Conversely, women who have children, a lot of men, particularly high-value men who are successful themselves, children, they're viewed as having baggage.
So with statistics showing that.
Yeah, that is another thing. Like, even if it's like, he says like post-divorce where after the marriage fails or whatever and they get divorced. But also thanks to the hookup culture, just women are having kids just without getting married, and they're, you know, getting flown out, getting pregnant, going on, you know, girls trips or whatever, having their what's it called? Their I don't know, the 304 phase, whatever that hot girl summer type ish, whatever. Going over to different states like Florida or Miami or something like that, or Miami or like Cali or something, and just, well, I guess it'll be Florida and Cali as actual states, but and then just shit, women getting pregnant over there, going back to wherever they came from, not knowing who the dad is, like, and then of course, but in times when it comes time to get married or find someone to marry, you know, those same guys, like, you know, the high value men and shit like that, it's like, nah, you have baggage. I don't want that. And it's more difficult for women with kids, single moms with kids, to actually marry or to actually you know, go out and find dates, because they have to find, you know, a babysitter and have to plan all this other shit just to go out and go on a date, and the date could end up being shit based off what they're used to dating, you know, or what, you know, whatever they think. They could think they have a good one, a nice guy or whatever, but then they think, oh, he's boring or he's too, you know, whatever again. Or they could just go on a date with a Chad or a Tyrone who they think, oh, I can change him, and then, you know, shit goes south again. So, you know, whatever.
64% of men remarry compared to 52% of women. Seems like men do fare better when it comes to dating post-divorce. But in general, it's evident that individuals of both genders experience distinct challenges post-divorce. Because despite dual income households becoming standard, women are more likely to be financially dependent on their husbands. But on the other hand, even if men are the primary breadwinners, women are more likely to initiate the divorce and also more likely to receive empathy and support during it, compared to men men who have a higher likelihood of substance abuse and depression. And in some cases, reputation loss can even occur. As seen in the initial Amber Heard Johnny Depp case in 2016, where Depp lost many roles due to alleged emotional and physical abuse.
And
Not only so, child custody
innocent.
also tends to favor women, but some argue for good reason. Most women take on the primary responsibility for child rearing, where fathers spend roughly 50 minutes less with their children than their mothers. In a scene in the months-long custody battle between Olivia Wilde and ex-husband Jason Sudeikis, Wilde secured full custody and now resides with her children with her current partner Harry Styles. So as a man, I'm not gonna lie, that scares me on marriage. Because even though my relationship has been so great and I love my girl, I also know that this is how many failed relationships began in the initial stage. And so I'm clearly not the only person in my generation that's feeling this way about marriage. And I'm also not the only one wondering what the future of relationships will look like.
You mentioned that the pendulum swings both ways. That anytime there's a correction, there's always going to be an overcorrection. And you mentioned that the next swing will be a return to more traditionalisms, and that marriages will actually surge. How do you think this will impact the future of marriage?
There's a lot of resurgence of traditional, old-fashioned courtship, not having premarital sex. I think people are feeling spiritually very lost right now. We tried to convince people that consumption would fill the void, and it didn't. People in that spiritual quest will tend to go back to the answers that religion gives. The massive increase in divorce that occurred from the 1970s and 80s on. Our culture's never been great at nuance. Like, I think the United States has a tendency to treat dandruff with decapitation. I think everybody's just been like, yeah, sleep with whoever you want, whenever you want, nothing means anything, there's no God, there's no anything, there's no rules, there's not even genders, just go out and whatever feels good, do it. Doesn't matter, gain weight, lose weight, doesn't matter. Fat, you're skinny, no one's allowed to talk about it, everything's just great. And everyone's unhappy. And so we'll go the other way now. Rigidity.
And it seems like the pendulum is swinging. In 2022, there were 2.6 million weddings across the United States, which is the most we've ever seen since the 1980s.
Really? I thought it would actually take a lot longer before the pendulum started to swing the other way. I mean, obviously, things need to happen in order for, for a way to be found, for correction to occur. Not correction, but in order for stability to be gained from that. Civilizations crumble in order for empires to be built and shit like that kind of thing. But I didn't expect it to start swinging around that fast.
And it's even exceeded pre-pandemic norms by over 500,000. And with more Gen Z getting married with less time dating, is this a sign that Gen Z is finding what's truly important, or is this all just a flex over Instagram? What do you think is the last thing that you'll remember when you die?
Probably my kids. I don't know what else you'd think about.
Not like the money or like the car?
No.
My husband, my children, and the people that I love.
I hope it's the birth of my children. Those are two of the happiest days of my life.
I have no idea.
The day when you met him, right?
Right, exactly.
All the times you had sex?
Yeah, well, that's true. You would actually think about that. Well, you always think about that, no matter who you're with.
Because even though money is undeniably important, whether it's to fund or scale this channel or to afford tickets to continue furthering this relationship, what matters during our final moments isn't the money or the status, but the memories with others.
You ready for tomorrow? I'm excited. Do you think you'll ever try your hand at marriage ever again?
I don't think marriage would be important to me. I'm in a long-term relationship that's very happy. My lack of endorsement of marriage does not have to do with a lack of endorsement of monogamy, of pair bonds, of love, of romance. I think those are all amazing, wonderful things. But I think marriage and love don't have that much to do with each other. I think that's what my professional life has taught me. Marriage is like the lottery, probably not gonna win, but it's worth buying a ticket and taking the ride.
So whether you agree or disagree with the concept of marriage, in a life full of impermanence, perhaps it's the commitment through the good and the bad that ultimately gives us meaning and purpose. Because whether it's our big mission to change people's default mindset of one-sided thinking, to exploring both sides, to your desire of wanting to build a life with a single person, nothing significant in life was ever achieved without unwavering commitment. And it's only by experiencing the trials and tribulations through commitment that you can ever discern what you truly want to pursue in life. And that's exactly the mission of exploring the unfamiliar. Thanks to our partner Dairy Ring, and subscribe not only to this channel, but to my second channel, Gen Plus, where I post highlights from my live streams. And also join my Discord to have a space where you can debate with like-minded individuals from all over the world. And so if YouTube gets it right, then you'll like this video too.
It didn't pop up. Oh, there it goes. That was a good video. That was a good video. I heard some things I didn't know about. Especially didn't think that the pendulum was swinging the other way so soon. That's a good sign though. So yeah, but I gave my thoughts on on everything, on why I think marriage is pretty much failing or why it's dying. It's good to hear that there are more marriages in 2022 than there were in 2018 or something. That's good, but I guess we gotta wait to see the numbers on divorces. So be careful out there. Do what you do. If marriage is for you, then do it. Go for it. Embrace that shit. Me, I might fly out to the East. I don't know. Right at this moment, I have little faith. I don't have too much faith in modern Western women. I know it's not all of them. I know they're not all like that. Just calm down. But I say this often, and to me, it's like finding a good woman in the West is like trying to find a piece of hay and a sack of needles, and you gotta be careful with that. And so, yeah, that's just me though. Obviously, I'm unique. Obviously, there's people who are having no problems doing that. And kudos to them. I hope everything works out for them. I do. But yeah, that's how it is at the moment. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. And yeah, don't forget to follow Jen on YouTube. As always, link to his channel, link to his video will be in the description below. And so be sure to check him out. And while you're there, don't forget to do those 3 things that I like to ask you to do. And like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is after that. In case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace and much love to you.